Rich County, to some, may just be a cold corner in northeast Utah. But to those who call it home, Rich County is a place where competitors live and championships are born. Under first-year head coach Lex Cornea, Rich men's basketball looks to turn things around. With no shortage of returning firepower and a hard-nosed Rebel defense being instilled, the boys who call Rich home are prepared to dominate on the hardwood. Welcome into another broadcast of Rich men's basketball on My Local Radio. This broadcast could not be possible without these Rebel supporting businesses: Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, The Come On In Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, West Star Printing, and Rocky Mountain Sign. All right, Rebel fans, get ready as it's time to join the voice of the Rebels, Matthew Peterson, down at the court for another edition of Rebel Basketball.
Good morning, Rebel fans, and welcome here to the Bridger Valley Basketball Tournament. I'm Matthew Peterson. Happy to have you alongside me for what should be a very exciting first game between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. We're going to have all the coverage here on mylocalradio.com and on 98.3 FM K80Q. But for now, we've got our Gary Tuscher pregame show. We're going to go through our scene set. We'll have a standout student presented by Western Ag Credit, the coaches show, of course, and a lot more going on. So don't go anywhere, Rebel fans. We got a lot of great basketball coming your way, and we're just getting started. It's the Rebels and the Cougars.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tuscher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
To Mountain View High School. I'm Matthew Peterson, and my cameraman Gary McKee just arrived on scene. And with that being said, let's get into our scene set. It's presented by J-Bar Excavation. So let's learn a little bit about the two sides today. The Rebels are entering with a 1-0 record, coming off that thrilling triple overtime win against Telos Titans a week ago. Now, as for the Wind River Cougars, they are competing for the first time this season. First game of the year for Wind River. They're coming off a tough season last year. They went 8-14 and 1-5 in 2A Southwest Wyoming. Finished second place back in 2017-18, so they've had a lot of success in the recent past, but rough year last year and looking to turn things around this year as Wind River enters the court now. And as for the Rich Rebels, they're coming off that 3 overtime win, and they'll have 3 games this tournament. It's the first of 3 with a morning start. Get your breakfast out and ready as it's a 11:30 a.m. tip-off between the Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. If you're just joining us, welcome into our Gary Tuscher pregame show. I'm Matthew Peterson, and we are going to go through our pregame show. We'll have our Western Ag Credit standout student and then the T7 Propane coaches show. So don't go anywhere. We got those on the deck coming up for you here. It's the Rebels and the Cougars.
Whether you're looking for gravel, sand, topsoil, rock, or other materials for your excavation or landscaping project, trust the experienced, knowledgeable team at J-Bar Excavation, specializing in sale and delivery of the materials you need to finish your project. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to help you create exactly what you're looking for. J-Bar does quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call J-Bar Excavation today, 435-793-5855.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Go Rich Rebels!
Welcome back to Mountain View High for the Bridger Valley basketball tournament between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. Next part in our pregame show is our standout student, and it's one of the players on the court today. It's brought to you by Western Ag Credit, your partner in agriculture. We just had our J-Bar excavation scene set, the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. Give them a call at 435-793-5855. All right, folks, let's turn things over to one of the Rich High seniors for our standout student.
Welcome to our standout student portion of the pregame show. I'm with Rich Senior Riley Taylor. Riley, thank you so much for catching up with me today. I want to start by asking, how's your senior year going?
It's been going pretty well. It's obviously not what I would have expected out of a senior year with COVID, but it's been going pretty well.
Riley, let's rewind to the fall a little bit. Football season, obviously you didn't get the wins you would have hoped for, but how do you evaluate a season like that, knowing all of the barriers the team had to overcome?
Yeah, we didn't win a ton of games, but I had a lot of fun playing just with all my teammates, and I think if you value other things besides just winning, I think it would be considered a successful season, honestly, in other areas. So,
Riley, to stay on that thread, that playoff game against North Summit, obviously a really close game, and I never had a chance to ask you, but what was going through your mind down in the fourth quarter when you saw that football on the floor and you jumped down it for that fumble recovery?
I just saw it. I thought, this is a chance we have the momentum right now. And I was thinking we could probably go win at that point. And I thought we could clear till the end, but it just didn't happen that way. I think that game definitely went a lot better than the first time we played them, and it was definitely a fun game to play in.
Switching gears, let's talk about basketball. So where does basketball rank compared to football and everything else you keep yourself busy with how much you love it?
In the past, I've liked football a lot, but basketball has definitely been my thing. I'm way excited for this season. I think we're gonna have a pretty great season. So.
Talking about this year, you guys returned a lot of starters from last year, a really heavy senior class. So how special is that for you to be playing alongside a couple guys you've been playing with since freshman year and probably even earlier, and now you've got the opportunity as seniors to go out with the bang?
Yeah, most of us have been together since middle school, and we've been playing with each other all the way through, with some other kids from other classes. But now as seniors, we're all here, big senior class, and I think it's just really exciting to go out there and play with them. And I think we can, where we had that chemistry from years past and playing with each other this whole time, I think as long as we get everything put together, we can have a really good year.
I'm with Rich Senior Riley Taylor, our standout student. Riley, I want to ask, how has the adjustment been from Coach Brown to Coach Cornea?
It's definitely different. Both great coaches, but Coach Cornea, really has brought in some new plays, different strategies, and I'm just really excited with where he's going to take us.
Riley, I want to ask you one last question. Getting away from Rich High, what would you like to do in your free time, and on your weekends now that's mostly monopolized by basketball, but how do you like to spend that time off?
I mean, I'm taking a lot of college classes, so I have a lot of homework and stuff to do, but I like to go hunting and just get outdoors, do stuff like that. So.
Sounds awesome. Riley, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.
That's Rich High senior Riley Taylor, our standout student.
Brought to you by Western Ag Credit. We are about 8.5 minutes away from tip-off between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. So don't go anywhere. We got more to go over here in our Gary Tusher pregame show. We're going to get into our coaches show presented by T7 Propane in Woodruff. We'll have our Lake Town Ledger. Of course, the keys of the game, the pregame slice, and the starting lineups all before tip-off. So keep it right here on Rebel Radio.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
Whether you need a big bite to eat, a tasty snack, or a sweet treat, the Crawford Trough in Randolph has it all to satisfy your cravings. From tasty burgers and wraps, patty melts and perfect pitas to fresh salads, home-cut fries, crispy onion rings, and of course, that silky smooth ice cream. The Crawford Trough can feed your hunger and then some. And if you haven't tried one of the Trough's mixed sodas, your taste buds don't know what they're missing. Stop in today at the place to eat and drink, the Crawford Trough at 120 South Main, Randolph.
Welcome back to Mountain View High for the Bridger Valley Tournament, two-day invitational between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. It's now time for our coaches show. It's presented by T7 Propane in Woodruff, and we're going to hear from Rich Rebels head coach Lex Cornea. Could not get in contact with the Wind River Cougars head coach Justin Walker, but let's hear from Coach Cornea ahead of today's matchup. Welcome into the T7 Propane Coaches Show. I'm now with Rich boys basketball head coach Lex Cornea. Coach, thank you for taking time to speak with me today. Let's start by talking about this upcoming week of practice and getting ready for that tournament in the Valley. What do you want to focus on most this week of practice?
Well, obviously it's our execution. Friday, things that we kind of thought guys would be more prepared for, they weren't against varsity speed. Just kind of being on the same page. I felt that game had to just turn over to who's going to fight harder. It honestly turned into more of a game of pickup basketball than, kind of a polished unit that we want to be eventually. So, and that's not surprising. I mean, we'd had 4 real days of practice going into that game because the week before we had tryouts, Thanksgiving, then we were, locked down with state mandates. So it doesn't surprise me that it looked ragged, but that's definitely something to focus on for this week.
Coach, I think you just said it best. It did kind of look like a bit of a pickup basketball game with just threes being chucked up on both sides of the court. Now, you mentioned you want to see a little more polished team. What needs polishing off the most going forward?
Well, obviously, their defensive pressure just took us out of everything we wanted to do. And a good team doesn't allow that to happen. This is varsity basketball. You're going to be pressured. You still have to be able to enter the ball, initiate offense, and be able to read out of that offense regardless of whether you're pressured or not. And I think that was kind of the biggest takeaway from that game offensively. And that in their press just really raised our blood pressure. It got super frantic. And, we need 5 guys that when there's full court pressure like that you can be more steady, that, you can read passes better. And I just felt like we were, like I said, very, very frantic. So hopefully that's something we see this weekend. I mean, these are early games, It's supposed to be a little ragged at this time, but it's also things that we need to continually work to clear up and to perfect, and that's what this week's about.
Coach, rewinding to that matchup with Telos, you guys had 2 great buzzer beaters in overtime to continue overtime. Are you concerned you've used up all of your magic this season on the first game of the season, or how excited was that for the team and the bench?
Well, I hope we haven't used up all of our magic. I mean, obviously, I've always believed that luck comes to the team that works hardest. You know, it's still luck to have those bounces or to have those, you know, those plays. But if you work hard, those plays come your way more often. I think that's you know, the message of that game that these guys are taking from it is when we work hard, good things will happen eventually. Even if it's not in that game. You know, if we'd have lost that game, you know, right now we'd be 0-1, but we'd be in the same position we're in now at 1-0. But I do think guys kind of see that when their energy is up, good things happen on the floor. Now that energy needs to be controlled now, and that's kind of the work of this week is just control yourself, be more deliberate in your decision making, and I think that we had too many guys just kind of dribbling and see what happens, try to find something, and you know, teams like that don't win state tournaments. They might win individual games, but you know, they don't win championships, and so that's definitely something we need to work on.
I'm with Rebels boys basketball head coach Lex Cornea. Coach, one final question for you. Looking forward to this week of practice. What are you going to focus on the most as you guys have a tournament in the Valley, lots of games, lots of players getting minutes, I assume. So how do you kind of approach this from a coaching perspective?
Well, I mean, these 3 games, and it is 3 games in 2 days, but it's as close to mimicking a state tournament as we get. You know, you don't have a lot of time to prepare the next opponent, and you know, games happen quickly. You got to just recover quickly and get back out on the floor. So that's what we kind of approach it as, is this is what state will feel like. And who knows what the state format's going to be this year. It may be that we have a 2-day tournament with 2 games a day. So, you know, it's time to just get used to me, get used to each other, and kind of form that team and go out and compete hard. You know, records at this point are very, you know, I don't know what the word would be. I think they're easily misconstrued. You know, I've been on teams where we have been winless in our first few games, and I've been on teams who've been undefeated in our first few games, and those teams, each group still had to go get better throughout the season and prepare for March. And so that's kind of our message this week is, hey, relax, take a breath. Yeah, we had a big win, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us, and you know, just stay the course, keep working hard, get better each day at the things you do, and I like our chances as good as anybody's.
Coach Cornea, thank you so much for the time today.
No problem. Thank you, Matthew.
That's head coach Lex Cornea on the T7 Propane Coaches Show.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Welcome back to Mountain View High for the matchup between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars in the first of 3 games for Rich in this Bridger Valley tournament. And let's turn to the Lake Town Ledger and learn a little bit about the history between these two sides. So, Rebels versus Cougars. My history notes say that this is the first matchup all time. The first one I could find. So if you know of a prior matchup, feel free to let me know. But this could be the first matchup between these two schools all time. Now, let's learn a little bit more about how Rich does when they come and play against the Cowboy State. Rich is 14-5 versus Wyoming schools in the last 5 years. So they've had a lot of success. And talking about the Cowboy State, Rebels basketball head coach Lex Cornea is going to return back to his prior state that he lived in for the last couple of years, coaching the Evanston Red Devils. So Coach Cornea comes back here to Wyoming, and we're getting close to tip-off here between the Rebels and the Cougars. Our keys of the game, number 1 is penetrate the block. The Rebels had a lot of difficulties getting in down low against Telos, and next one is perimeter defense. Telos had a lot of threes shot, and the final key is the bench mob. We'll get to the rest of our pregame show as it's not tip-off in Wyoming. It is a coin toss, so it's going to be won by the it's going to be started by Wind River, and they feed it inside, and they get a quick basket here to start the first quarter. It's already 2-0 Wind River. Basket made. And another quick turnover by the Rebels, so a poor start from Rich. Down 2-0 early on. Opening basket brought to you by Jaden Miller, the junior. So 2-0 with just over 7.5 to go in the first quarter. Wind River with the possession at the top of the key right now. They're penetrating inside, putting up a floater, and off the rim was Wiley Scherer. And the Rebels on the response. John Scott has it on the wing. He looks to put it up top, and a three from Greer off the back iron. Rebound pulled in by Wind River, and then moving up the court looking for their man at the block, but no good. Comes down, the rebound is Truman Huffner. He had a couple of big free throws to win the game against Telos a week ago. Huffner at the key on the wing with it. Looks to Greer at the top of the key. Another three, and that's no good as well. Rebounded by the Cougars. Here comes Wind River the opposite direction. Going down the right side is Stagner, and Stagner dishes it out. Now it's stolen away by Truman Huffner. A Rich County government steal, and that sets up Connor Greer on the wing with it. Looking along the baseline, no good from Greer. Putback will fall, though. Putback by Logan Meerbrook, and the Rebels even the score at 2 apiece with 6:42 to go in the first quarter as Wind River drives and gets the foul and the bucket. Jaden Miller with an opportunity to make it a three-point play now. We'll get into our starting lineups for the Rich Rebels. It's the usual 5 suspects. You've got Connor Greer, Truman Huffner, Riley Taylor, Logan Meerbrook, and John Scott are the starting 5 for the Rich Rebels. And unable to complete the three-point play was Jaden Miller, so we'll keep it at a 2-point game on our Station on Main scoreboard. Stolen over by Wind River, and they go the opposite direction, but Lenhart can't put it away, but a foul on the putback attempt, and more free throws coming our way. Let's get into our Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice. The Rich Rebels are in their road white uniforms with blue numbers, and as for the Wind River Cougars, they got some black uniforms and purple numbers. So you got white and purple going at it today. That's our Old Chicago pregame slice. Pizza in Logan. Pizza and more built from scratch, one delicious ingredient at a time. Go visit them in Logan at 795 East and 1400 North. We're going to keep it right here as we are in our first quarter. It's a 4-2 lead for Wind River on the Station on Main scoreboard with 6:26 to go in our opening quarter. I'm Matthew Peterson. Happy you decided to make Rebel basketball a part of your Friday morning. I don't think there's any better way to start a Friday. Scratch that, no better way to start a weekend. We got 3 men's Rebel basketball games, 3 women's, 6 in total over the next 48 hours. Inbound play, and the Cougars moving around. Miller in the corner looking inside and trying to get a shot off, but blocked was Trey Mulholland. However, Rich turns it over. Update our Station on Main scoreboard for you. Sorry about that. Rich turned it over, though, trying to move the ball up the court. It's 4-2 Wind River. 6:13 to go, and the inbound play is feeded into the paint, and picking up the loose ball was Miller, putting up a shot, but no good. Wind River does come down the offensive board, and it was Wiley Scherer putting it off the glass and doubling the lead for the Cougars. It's 6-2 Wind River against the Rich Rebels. Rebels to inbound it on their half of the court right now. Our inbounds play are brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, and they get it in to Hayden Meek, who just checked into the game. He gives it right back to Connor Greer, but Greer could not tightrope the out-of-bounds line. He stepped on it, and Wind River ball on the Rebel half of the court. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's 6-2 Cougars. In our opening quarter, and it will be Stockman Stagner to inbound the ball. His inbound pass is tipped by Hayden Meek, taken away by John Scott, who gives it back to Meek at the block. Meek through some traffic off the glass, no good, rebounded Wind River. It's Jaden Miller going the opposite direction. Scratch that, Braden Lanhart. A 3 from the Cougars, no good, rebounded by Meek though. And Hayden Meek advancing himself across half court, and at the wing, pulls up, gives it to Truman Huffner at the baseline, at the free throw line. His shot rims in and out. And here come the Cougars. Miller driving through the paint. He is fouled, and he'll inbounds the ball now. 6-2 Cougars with 5:24 to go in our opening quarter. Will be the Cougars to inbound the ball beneath the Rebels basket after the foul against Jaden Miller. Inbound goes to Lenhart. He drives into the paint, has a shot denied by John Scott. Rebels moving around their half of the court. It's Logan Muirbrook looking all the way down to Hayden Meek at the block. He gets it to go. Rebels on the score again, on the scoreboard. 6-4 Wind River after the basket from Hayden Meek. Cougars on offense, chuck up a three off the back iron, rebounded by Scott. Scott passes it over to Greer. Greer weaving through traffic, looking down to the paint, finds Meek, and he turns it over. Here come the Cougars going the opposite direction. In the paint, and the floater while being fouled was Wiley Scherer. And I think he's going to shoot a pair of free throws now. Do they call it a shooting foul? Let's wait and see. I did not see an initial call. And I believe they did not. No. So it will be Wind River ball to inbound it beneath the Rebels basket with 4:44 to go in the first quarter. Rich trails 6-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Nope. Ignore what I just said. It will be a pair of free throws coming from Wiley Scherer. Wiley Scherer, a sophomore, the only sophomore in this starting lineup for Wind River. First free throw up and no good. Talking about that Wind River starting lineup, they sent out 4 juniors and a sophomore. According to my records, they don't have a single senior on this roster. So a very young crew here from Wind River, and the second free throw is up and good. It's now 7-4 Cougars. Rebels going the opposite direction. It's Scott from the block, putting it up and putting it home. It's now 7-6. Rebels trail by 1. Cougars trying to respond to the basket of their own. They're down low, loose ball. Who's got it? And it's Rebel ball. Hayden Meek with it and moving his way up the court. Has got some traffic around him. He is fouled. And Rich trailing by 1 with just over 4.5 to go in this opening quarter from Mountain View High. Hayden Meek will perform the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play on their half of the court. He gets it to Connor Greer. Greer with a bit of pressure. Bounce pass to Scott. He's got pressure. Nearly has his pass taken away. Pass goes to Meek in the corner for 3. Off the iron, no good. Loose ball. Who wants it? Who's got it? And it's being last touched by a Wind River player. Making a great diving effort to get it was Isaiah Burnett. Another sophomore, but his foot was out of bounds when he got to it. Riley Carrillo is going to check into the game now for Hayden Meek. So it will be John Scott to inbound the ball on the Cougars half of the court with 4:20 to go in the first quarter, trailing by 1. Pass goes to Greer on the near wing. Connor Greer with a lot of pressure, moves along the baseline. He's fouled. Committing the foul for Wind River was Hunter Walker, another sophomore. It's Connor Greer who will inbound it. Looking for someone to pass to, and he's got John Scott in the near corner. Scott gives it back to Truman Huffner. Huffner at the wing, going from left to right. Now he finds Muirbrook at the top of the arc. On the far wing, Connor Greer dribbling through the paint. Bounce pass to Riley Carrillo. Escapes his hands out of play. And Wind River ball. Rich trails by 1 on that Station on Main scoreboard. 7-6 with just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Miller brings the ball up the court. He passes it over to Stagner. Stagner had to bounce off his foot and out of bounds. Rebel ball. Back and forth first quarter, but Rich still looking for the lead for the first time this morning. Greer to inbound it, gets to Scott. John Scott moves up the court, right down the heart of it. Picks up his dribble, passes to Huffner. He puts up a floater inside the paint, and that is going to fall. And the Rebels lead 8-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard, thanks to Truman Huffner's first basket of the morning. A three from Wind River, no good. Rebound, Miller has a shot denied by Carrillo. And the Rebels come away with the loose ball. It's Connor Greer with it. Greer had a sensational game against Telos a week ago. Now he feeds Huffner, who puts up a three. That's no good. Rebound, Scott beneath the basket. That is. Rebels adding to their lead. It's now 10-7 Rich. Wind River feeding it down low, and a denial from Connor Greer. What a defensive play by Connor Greer. Wind River to inbound it with 3 minutes on the clock at the Rebel half of the court. Trailing by 3 now. Rich gone on a bit of a run. Gone on a 6-0 run. Wind River. Cougars moving at the top of the key right now. Pass goes to Miller on the near wing. Jaden Miller trying to put the moves on Scott, unable to. He passes it around the horn. Back to Miller at the top of the arc. Miller feeding it to the far wing, looking down low in the corner. And a foul against Rich. Foul is on Riley Carrillo, who just checked in the game. Carrillo played earlier in the first matchup. Cougars will inbound it to the near corner. Goes to Stagner. Stockman-Stagner passing it around, and Cougars have it in the far corner. What are they going to do with it? And it's Wiley Scherer who coughed it up, but last touch by a Rebel. Scherer will now inbound it beneath the Rebels' basket with 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Cougars trailing by 3. Jaden Miller at the top of the key gets the pass. He looks inside off the glass. Rebound is going to fall to a Cougar, but now it's taken away. Here come the Rebels walking along the far line, and getting fouled was Jaden Grohl. Grohl checked in just a few moments ago and picks up a foul against Wind River. John Scott will grab a seat as Logan Muirbrook comes back in the game. Jaden Grohl to do the Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound play. Grohl's pass will go to the hands of Greer, who passes it over to Huffner, and it's back to Greer at the top of the arc. Poked away momentarily, but regains possession. Huffner in the near wing. Going to his right, he'll pass over to Riley Carrillo at the top of the key. On the far wing, it's Greer driving in and putting the layup home. Another basket for Connor Greer. It's 12-7 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Actually, it's Greer's first basket of the morning. Top of the key, and a whistle is blown as Hunter Walkner passed it out. It's going to be a foul against Wind River. With 1:53 to go in the first quarter, Rich leads 12-7. Inbound pass goes to Grohl. He coughed it up. Taken away by the Cougars. They look inside to Stagner. He puts it off the glass, but no good. Offensive putback can't fall, but a foul. And it will be Wiley Scherer to shoot a pair of Bear Lake Realty free throws. 12-7 Rich with Scherer at the free throw line. He's got 4 points. He's got 3 points to his name already, and you can make it 4. 12-8 now. Wind River down by 4 with 1:46 to go in the opening quarter. Second free throw on the way, and that falls, and we've got a one-possession game now, still early. (12-9) with 1:46, Rich ahead. Inbound pass goes to Greer. Greer with a lot of pressure on his face, moves down the court. He's going to dish it out to Hunter Pace, who looks right back to Truman Huffner. Gives it back to Pace, who just checked into the game. Hunter Pace with a man on him, moving from left to right, looks down low to Grohl, who immediately passes to Muirbrook, feeds it out to Greer for 3. Off the mark. Rebound to Muirbrook, good effort, passes back to Connor Greer, gives it over to Grohl at the far line. Grohl picks up his dribble off the glass, no good. Rebounded by the Cougars. Stagner going the opposite direction. He looks to the corner, 3 from Wind River, no good. Rebounded by the Cougars though. Feeding it inside to Walker, and that will go. 12-11. Rebels lead by 1 with under a minute to go in the first quarter. Here's Greer driving into the paint, and they're going to call a charge. Taking the charge was Trey Mulholland. 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rebels lead by 1. It's 12-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stockman Stagner takes the inbound pass, gets across half court at the top of the arc. Looking for a round, and it's a 3 ball from Burnett, and that will fall. So a quick 3 from Wind River puts them ahead by 2. Rebels on offense, and Logan Muirbrook gets the and 1. Put it up from the block off the glass and good. And he's got an opportunity to make it a 3-point play and retake the lead. High scoring first quarter, already 14-14 with 30 seconds to go. Muirbrook trying to complete the 3-point play with a Bear Lake Realty free throw. Shot is up and in and out. Rebound taken down by Wind River. 14-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. 25 seconds and counting. Cougars get the ball across half court. They look to drive in. Rich County Government steal. Ball is loose and it's taken away. Muirbrook passes to Hunter Pace, who lost it momentarily. Now he crosses half court, regains possession, passes to Huffner at the top of the key. Truman Huffner thought about the 3, looks down low, has his pass taken away, but now Muirbrook comes up with it, feeds it out, it's taken away. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, Wind River has it, 1 second. They do not get the shot off in time. The basket does not count. And we will conclude the first quarter with a score of 14-all on the Station on Main scoreboard. What an exciting first quarter that was indeed. We'll step aside, and when we return, we've got the second quarter brought to you by Stacy's Repair of Rich Rebel Basketball.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics is also brought to you in part by Freeway Tire. With a friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service, and great prices come together. Call Freeway Tire at 307-789-8632. And by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all of the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and can help you get rid of migraines and allergies. Call Hoover Chiropractic at 307-789-0043.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Back to Mountain View High. It's the Rebels and the Wind River Cougars all knotted up at 14 as we enter the second quarter. Inbound play goes to Connor Greer, who drives down, dishes out to Hunter Pace for 3. That is going home. 3 ball from Pace, and the Rebels are on top by 3. It's 17-14 Rich after Hunter Pace gets his first basket of the season. Wind River on the offensive possession, had the ball escape them, but last touch by a Rich Rebel. They'll inbound it beneath the Rich Rebel basket. Stagner looks to the top of the key, finds Burnett. Isaiah Burnett feeds it to the far wing. 2-pointer up, no good. Offensive putback can't fall, and it's pulled in by Pace. He passes to Huffner, gives it right back to him. Pace picks up his dribble. Double dribble, he knew it immediately. Stopped momentarily, put 2 paws on the ball, then passed it away. 17-14 Rebels with 7.5 to go in the second quarter. Brought to you by Stacy's Repair. Rich on top. Wind River moving around the horn. They've got on the far corner. Look up top to Isaiah Burnett. Burnett will drive in along the baseline, dishes it out, and getting fouled was Trey Mulholland. And Mulholland will shoot a pair of free throws. The junior, one of the 4 starting juniors today, and Wind River's first game of the season. First free throw up and no good. Looking back at that first quarter, Rebels were led by a couple of key players. John Scott with 4 points, Logan Muirbrook with 4 as well. And right now it is Trey Mulholland looking for his first point of the morning, and he gets it right there. 17-15. Rebels lead on the station on main scoreboard. Here's Pace looking down low, has his pass poked away, and here come the Cougars. Burnett picking up his speed, looking, I don't know where he was looking. Pass went out of bounds. No one really in the vicinity. Rebel basketball with 7:01 to go in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. Rich leads by 2 on the station on main scoreboard. Connor Greer will inbound it. Not before we have a substitution made as Riley Taylor checks in for Truman Huffner. Huffner with a strong showing so far. Inbound pass goes to Pace. Pace has his pass poked away. Last touch by Wind River. He was looking for Riley Taylor in between the top of the key and the half-court line, but Cougar got his hand on it, poked it out. Pace will inbound it. And we have an earring on the court that needs to be removed. Got that jewelry situation taken care of, and we're ready to play basketball. Inbound pass from Pace will go to Greer on the Rebel half of the court. He feeds it over to Scott, who crosses midcourt. Scott gives it back to Greer, who goes over to the far wing to Pace. Pace reverses course to Muirbrook at the top of the arc, who goes to Greer on the near wing. Greer driving along the baseline, and he steps out of bounds. Doesn't like the call, but it's Wind River ball. Isaiah Burnett inbounds it to Stagner. Stagner going up court. Passes to the far wing. Cougars moving the ball around at the paint and putting up a little bit of a jump shot was Jaden Miller. That couldn't fall. Rebels come away with the basketball. Not before it's turned over by Pace. Costly turnover on the Rebel half of the court. Cougars trying to get something out of it. And a travel is called on Hunter Walker. He jumped into the air and landed before getting the shot off. Rich still leads by 2 in the second quarter with 6:17 to go. Greer inbounds it to Scott. Scott moves across and double dribble. Back-to-back, 2 early double dribbles from the Rebels. Hopefully these are just early mistakes that will get out of the way here in December before we get to February. 17-15 Rich. 6:13 to go in the first half. Inbound pass goes to Burnett. He feeds it right back to the man that gave it to him, Scherer. Wiley Scherer looks for Isaiah Burnett. He's got it at the top of the key. Burnett slowly, methodically dribbling, has his pass taken away. Here's Greer going the opposite direction, and layup is good. 19-15 Rebels. Connor Greer on the steal and put back, and Wind River got fouled on offense. Pair of free throws coming your way now by Colby Jenks, a sophomore. Rich pushing their lead back to 4. (19-14) Rebels. 19-15. Jenks' first free throw up and no good. So after a really strong and quick start in the first quarter from both sides, a bit of a slower start here, but plenty of time left. As Huffner is going to check in right now for Riley Taylor. Second free throw on the way from Jenks, and that's not going to fall as well. Rebounded by Huffner. Gets it out to Greer. He's got Muirbrook ahead of him, and Muirbrook misses the wide open layup. Here come the Cougars in the opposite direction. Wind River penetrating inside the paint and putting a floater, and that's going to go in and out by Scherer. And right now it's Greer who's going to be fouled crossing half court. Foul committed by Hunter Walker. Pace to do the inbound. Walker checks out. He's picked up a couple fouls here in the first half. Walker's inbound pass goes to John Scott on the near wing. Goes right back to Pace. Pace passes over to Huffner. In the corner right now, it's Greer looking inside to Meerbrook. His shot won't fall. Loose ball, who's got it, and it's going to be taken away by the Cougars. Here comes Wind River. They look down low, and it's denied by Meerbrook. Great denial and good inbound pass to keep it alive as Scott dribbles up the court. He is fouled. Foul on Jaden Miller, and that is the 7th foul. So a 1-and-1 coming our way right now. John Scott to do the free throw shooting duties with 5:05 to go in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. First free throw on the way, and that's good. Make it 20-15. It's a 5-point game after the first free throw from Scott, his first point of this second quarter. We have a substitution being made? No. Second free throw on the way from Scott, and nothing but net. 21-15 Rich. They lead by 6 after a pair of Scott free throws. Lenhart bringing the ball up now for the Cougars. He looks to Scherer, who gives it to Jenks. Colby Jenks has his dribble stolen away by Scott. He passes it out to Greer. Great Rich County government steal from John Scott, and the Rebels turn it over on the deep pass. Here's Jaden Miller picking up his speed for the Cougars. Looks inside the paint, off the glass, and good. Wow. What a beautiful shot by Jaden Miller. It's 21-17. Rebels lead by 4. Rich on offense. Scott in the near corner with it. Meerbrook down low and gets it to go. 23-17. These two sides picking up some offensive tempo now in the second quarter with 4:16 to go. Wind River, second shot attempt, no good. Miller comes with the loose ball, and he is fouled while simultaneously being blocked by Meerbrook. With 4:06 remaining in our Stacey's Repair second quarter, it's a 6-point advantage for the Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Jaden Miller will shoot a pair of free throws now, trying to cut into this lead. Wind River led for most of the first quarter. They got out to an early advantage, but the Rebels turned it around. They've gone back and forth since, but the second quarter has been dominated by the Rebels pretty much. Second free throw on the way. That one's no good after the first one fell. It's 23-18. Rebels have it in the corner. It's Hayden Meek looking to drive in, pass it to Scott. He puts up a 3. Offensive rebound is going to go to Meerbrook. He puts it up, but he is fouled. 2 free throws coming our way for Logan Meerbrook after he got the offensive board from the missed shot from John Scott, and he's going to shoot a pair of Bear Lake Realty free throws. Speaking of Bear Lake Realty, Gary McKee manning my camera today along with the other 5 games this weekend. And the first free throw up and good from Meerbrook. Back to a 6-point advantage, 24-18. Second free throw from Meerbrook up, and that's good as well. You know, the Rebels definitely wanted to do better at the free throw line a week ago, and I think they practiced it a couple times this week. Strong showing from the charity stripe so far. 25-18, under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Rebels ahead. Lenhart had some difficulty, but he got it out. Wind River on offense, moving along the baseline, but a denial on the shot. Loose ball picked up by Scott. Scott is going to turn it over. River whistle blew. They're going to call a foul on Rich. I didn't see it, but Wind River ball trailing 25-18 with 3.5 to go in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. Wiley Scherer will inbound it now. His inbound pass finds the waiting hands of Jaden Miller, crosses half court leisurely. Miller has his pass taken away. It's a breakaway for Scott, and he puts it home. 27-18, Rebels pulling away in the second quarter after a John Scott easy layup. Jaden Miller put up a floater, but they're going to call it against Wind River. So Rebel basketball with 3:12 to go in the first half of action. Rich leading by 9. Greer picking up his pace as he crosses half court, passes to Scott on the far wing, gives it right back to Greer. Greer moves inside the paint, finds Carrillo underneath the basket, and a toilet bowl roll will finish with a Rebel basket, 29-18. Rebels really putting on the pressure now in the second quarter. First basket for Carrillo this morning. Make it this afternoon now, as the ball is last touched by Rich on the Wind River offensive possession. 2:44 to go, and it looks like a timeout is called by Wind River. We'll take it as well. It's the Rebels surging right now. They lead 29-18 over the Cougars.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Welcome back to Mountain View High. Matchup today between the Rich Rebels and the Wind River Cougars. I'm Matthew Peterson. Happy to have you alongside me. It's a 29-18 lead for Rich. They have gone on a massive run in the second quarter. We'll bring it to you in a moment, those numbers. But for now, it's Wind River inbounding the pass, but it's taken away. Connor Greer on a one-on-one. He's beneath the basket, has some trouble, dishes out to Carrillo, passes to Scott for three. No good off the iron, rebounded by Lenhart. He passes it over to Miller with 2.5. He feeds it down low to Scherer. He puts up a three, and that's going to be no good. Rebounded by Scott. He passes out to Greer. He's got Riley Carrillo wide open the other direction, and Carrillo makes the easy layup, 31-18. Good heads-up play by Connor Greer, John Scott. 31-18 after another basket from Riley Carrillo, his fourth of the game so far. He did not have a basket in the first game against Telos. He's got 2 this afternoon. Inbound pass with just over 2 minutes to go. Goes to Miller, and Scherer has his shot denied. John Scott loses it momentarily, passes to Greer. Greer is fouled. With 1:59 to go, it's going to be a 1-and-1 situation for the senior Connor Greer. Talk about the Rebels going on a run. It was 20-15. Since then, it's been an 11-3 run for the Rich Rebels. We could make it even more. At one point, it was 17-15. So a 14-3 run for Rich in our Stacy's Repair second quarter. First free throw up and good from Greer. Make it 32-18 now on the Station on Main scoreboard. Jaden Grohl just checked into the game for Rich. And Wiley Scherer will grab a seat. He's been their go-to guy so far, but quiet in this second quarter. Second free throw from Greer is off the back iron, but a great putback from Riley Carrillo. An offensive board. Make it 34-18 Rich. What a great heads-up play by Riley Carrillo to get inside. A blocking call is charged against Rich. On the defensive side, it's going to go against Riley Carrillo, who just had a great offensive putback on the missed free throw. Caught the Cougars sleeping and made him pay. He's got 6 points, all in the second quarter. Jaden Miller's shot up and no good. So the Rebels with a heavy senior class, upperclassmen dominating a younger group out of Wind River right now as Hunter Pace checks in for John Scott. John Scott able to do so much on both sides of the ball, and that's what makes him so special. Offense and defensively, he stands out. Second free throw, no good for Miller. 1:50 and counting to go in the first half. Jaden Grohl is tripped on his way up the court, and we'll have some more free throws brought to you by Bear Lake Realty coming your way with 1:46. Jaden Grohl trying to get on the stat sheet today. Grohl, a senior, plays some valuable minutes off the bench. First free throw from Grohl is in and out of the basket. Tough break for Jaden. Rich leads by 16 with 1:46 remaining in the first half of action. First of 3 games this weekend from the Bridger Valley tournament. Second free throw from Grohl is no good. Nearly put back by who else but Carrillo, but the offensive board is still alive, and Huffner misses. Rich applying pressure, and they force a turnover. It was last touched by Wind River. Rebel basketball on the offensive half of the court. Hunter Pace to inbound it. Pace trying to find a white jersey. He finds Greer near half court. Under a minute 40 to go in the first half. Huffner at the top of the arc, goes to the far corner to Greer, who spots up a 3. Off the iron, rebounded by Pace. Ball is tipped around, eventually falls down to a Wind River player. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow favoring Wind River, but a great hustle play by Hunter Pace. 34-18 with 1:26 to go in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. We're going to have our Crawford Trough halftime show with the Town of Randolph first half highlights, so don't go anywhere in a minute 26. Braden Lenhart bringing the ball up for Wind River. Picks up his dribble, passes it over to Burnett. Isaiah Burnett on the far side puts up a 3. Off the glass, no good. Rebound is going to go to the Cougars. Minute 15 to go in the second quarter. Looking inside, and Wind River can't have that fall either. Rebounded by Carrillo. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Tries to pass it away, has it stolen. And another missed shot from the Cougars. Another putback, though, and whistle blown, and we'll have a pair of free throws now. Wind River all over that basket, but couldn't put it down. 59 ticks to go in the first half. Free throws coming our way from Trey Mulholland, a junior. Mulholland's first shot up and good, so that ends a long drought for the Cougars. They were stuck at 18 for a little bit, but now it's 34-19, and Mulholland picks up his second point of the day. Second free throw on the way, and that's no good. Last touch by a Cougar. Rebel basketball with 58 ticks. It will be Jaden Grohl to inbound it, a Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play, as Wind River applying the pressure right now. They got a full court press going. Grohl finds Meek. Hayden Meek with some trouble, trying to get it across half court. He's got a couple seconds to do so. Passes to Pace. Pace needs to get a move on. He loses it, turns it over. A long 2. That's off the front iron. Rebounded by the Rebels. And Meek is fouled. So a 1-and-1 now, or are we in that two-point free throw territory? Wind River has put on a tough full court press. They have not let the Rebels get across half court with ease. Here's Hayden Meek to look to pick up his first point since early in the first quarter. In and out, no good. He'll have a second free throw now. 34-19 Rich with 43 seconds to go in the first half. Second free throw on the way for Meek, and that is good. Make it 35-19 Rebels after the Hayden Meek free throw. Here come the Cougars on the opposite end. They're at the top of the key. Picking up his dribble is Walker, looking down low, and only Casper, the friendly ghost, was there. Not a soul in sight. Rebel basketball with 30 seconds to go in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. Rich with a 16-point advantage. It's been a dormant quarter for Wind River this second quarter. Only 4 points to show for it as a long pass from Riley Carrillo slips through the fingertips of Truman Huffner and out of bounds with 25 seconds to go now. Inbound pass goes to Stagman. He passes it over to Jenks. Colby Jenks will look to Lenhart. He gives it over to Walker, the top of the key, passes back to Stagman. Lenhart for three, no good. Who's got the rebound though? And it's going to be a loose ball. That'll be last touched by a Rebel with 8.3 seconds to go. Just under 8.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Rich leads by 16. Inbound play will go to Stagman. 5 seconds remaining. It's Burnett at the top of the key. 2 seconds to go. 1 second. They got to get a shot off. They do at the buzzer. No good. So that will do it for the first half of action. It's the Rebels leading comfortably, 35-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll have our Crawford Trough halftime show with the Town of Randolph first half highlights. Don't go anywhere, Rebel fans. We've got more rich Rebel basketball coverage coming your way from the Bridger Valley Tournament here at Mountain View High.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. History from the gangsters of the past like Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde are at the Legal Tender restaurant located inside the Best Western Dunmar Inn. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the motel. During his FBI career, Dub worked with many other famous agents like Elliot Ness and Sam Calley to take the criminals down. From the names on the menu to the nostalgia on the walls, notorious figures from the 1920s are all around. Come and enjoy a delicious meal surrounded by history today at the Legal Tender restaurant, 1601 Harrison Drive, Evanston.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of almost 6,300 feet and with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that's one reason the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, respect, a love for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Lynn Weston and the town board proudly support the Rich Rebels and hope you'll be able to visit soon and come back often.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
It's a comfortable lead for the Rebels at the half against the Wind River Cougars, 35-19. Welcome into our Crawford Trough halftime show. Happy to have you with us here. Crawford Trough, the place to eat and drink in all of Rich County. They are open. Winter hours are now Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 7. All right, folks, let's check out our first half highlights here as the Rebels are up 16. However, it was not always that easy. That first quarter, back and forth. It was 14-all at the end of the first quarter of action. And looking at that first quarter, John Scott and Logan Muirbrook tied with 4 points apop. And other contributing factors, Connor Greer had a basket along with Truman Huffner and Hayden Meek. And then the second quarter was pretty much all Rich Rebels. They turned it on down the stretch. They got an early three ball from Hunter Pace, who put him up 17-14, and Wind River would try to dent into that lead a little bit, but ultimately the Rebels poured on the gas, on the open fire. It was Riley Carrillo with 6 points off the bench, and you know what? If you are Coach Cornea, obviously you want to win, but you're looking for a lot of small victories, and one of those is how well can my bench be utilized this season? It's his first year. He's got a lot to learn about his team, and so for him to have the comfortability of, yep, I don't have just 5 basketball players. I got 7, 8, or 9 players that can be big contributors to this team. That's exactly what you want to see, and that's what you want to find out in these tournaments. So Riley Carrillo with 6 points off the bench, along with a couple other contributing factors in that second quarter. Logan Muirbrook had 4 points as well in that second quarter to combine for a total of 8. That ties John Scott for the most. On the tail of Muirbrook, Scott, and Riley Carrillo, it's Connor Greer, who has 5 points. Connor Greer had 28 in the first game of the season. That's our first half stats. We're going to step aside for a quick break, and when we return, we'll have our Town of Randolph first half highlights. A lot of great plays to pick from. So keep it right here. It's halftime right now between the Rebels and Cougars. We'll get the second half of action started up in about 5 minutes. So get your food and drink ready, get comfortable as we have more Rebel basketball coming your way here on Rebel Radio on 98.3 FM KADQ and at mylocalradio.com.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
Welcome back to Mountain View High. The Rebels are leading the Wind River Cougars 35-19, and we're in our Crawford Trough, the place to eat and drink halftime show. I'm Matthew Peterson, and let's move into our Town of Randolph first half highlights. Home of the Rich Rebels, good luck for the mayor, Lynn Weston, board members Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and the county clerk, Lena Peart. So let's talk about our first half highlights, and we don't just look at our starting five, let's look at the bench. Riley Carrillo providing that 6-point spark, and one of the best highlights was an offensive putback on a missed free throw from Carrillo. It's hard to get offensive rebounds on a missed free throw, but to move inside around the man next to you and put it right back off the glass, a great highlight from Carrillo. And how about Hunter Pace? did not see him in the first game of the season. He got a 3 in the second half today to kind of jumpstart this Rebel offense to kick things off. And John Scott just doing the job on offense and defense. He's got 8 points, but an unsung hero on defense, forcing plenty of turnovers, a true menace, shutting down the top player for the opponent. John Scott, Riley Carrillo, and Hunter Pace, among many other players, with a lot of great highlights in our first half of action. We are a minute 15 away from the second half of basketball. It's our third quarter, which is brought to you by Epic Recreation. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. You can visit Epic Recreation at epicrecreation.net, or if you hate the internet, give them a call at 435-946-EPIC. That's going to conclude our Crawford Trough halftime show, the place to eat and drink. Their winter hours are Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 7. One of the best places to get a burger in all of Utah. All right, folks, let's talk a little bit now about our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Our camera is not in an ideal location, but I want to give Gary McKee a big thanks for volunteering his time all weekend to be with me for these 6 games to operate the camera. It's our Bear Lake Realty fan cam, and who else but Gary McKee to run it. You can visit Bear Lake Realty at bearlakerealty.com or give them a call at 435-946-8888, as Gary picked up on the nonverbal cue right there, putting some rich Rebel fans on the cam right now. A good showing of Rebel fans traveling east on I-80 down to the Bridger Valley area from Rich County, Utah. And with that said, it's time for the second half of Rebel basketball. It's a 35-19 advantage on the Station on Main scoreboard as we open up our Epic Recreation third quarter. I should have mentioned earlier, in the state of Wyoming this year, there are no tip-offs. So if you're a little curious why there was an inbound play, it was decided by a coin toss. So a bit of a football-basketball combination in a way to start the match. So no tip-offs. They're trying to limit that face-to-face contact in the Cowboy State. Here's Truman Huffner to perform a Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play to restart the game. He finds Connor Greer, who's at the top of the key right now, looks down low to Scott on the wing. John Scott looking for his man. Riley Taylor has it poked away. Here's Braden, and a quick basket from Braden Lenhart. And Wind River on the board, and that's what they need to start this game. 35-21. Rebels lead by 14. A shot off the glass, no good for Meerbrook. Here come the Cougars. Long three from Miller. That's off the rim. Rebounded by Scott. Scott dribbles up the middle of the court, slows it down. He's got some pressure. John Scott has his pass taken away. Here's Lenhart with it. Cougars pull up from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Taylor. Sloppy play from the Rebels in the first minute of this third quarter. Here is Scott feeding it over to Huffner, who gets it to go and one. Great pass from John Scott to Truman Huffner, who completes the play. 37-21. Rebels back to a 16-point lead and trying to add to it right now. Huffner gets the first basket of the second half for Rich, as Hunter Pace will check in now for John Scott, who just had that beautiful assist. Waiting for a Bear Lake Realty free throw from Huffner. Truman Huffner, a senior. That's his 4th point of the day. Misses the 3-point play free throw attempt. However, last touch by a Cougar, so it'll stay with the Rebels on offense. Under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 37-21 Rich on the Station on Main scoreboard. Pass goes to Greer at the top of the arc. He drives in on the left half of the court. Passes out to Huffner in the corner. Finds Pace, who puts up a 3. No good, short. Rebounded by Greer. Then another offensive putback by Taylor. He gets his own missed shot. Rebels with time and time again an opportunity. And finally, Logan Meerbrook puts it in. 39-21 Rebels. Shot from Wind River. That's not going to fall. And a foul is called on the Cougars. Rebel basketball. Huffner to do the inbound play. Looks down court like a quarterback, and he finds his receiver, Muirbrook. He passes to Taylor, puts it off the glass. Wow, what a 1-2-3 connection between Huffner, Muirbrook, and Taylor. It's 41-21, Rebels building on their lead. Turnover by the Cougars, and an easy layup now for Greer. Make it 43-21. They're going faster than my pen can go. Rebels playing defense right now as we catch up with 6:15 to go. It's 43-21. Riley Taylor got his first basket of the day just a few moments ago. 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. Rebels up by a handful. It's 43-21. Stockman Stagner has at the top of the key. Stagner has his pass punched up in the air by Greer. And John Scott, who sat for about a minute and a half, will check back in for Hunter Pace. Inbound play for the Cougars finds the waiting arms of Stockman Stagner. He goes cross court to Isaiah Burnett. Looking for his man down low, has a shot blocked, and the Rebels come away with it. Muirbrook has it at the block, looks for Huffner, no good. And now Jaden Miller going the opposite direction. Nifty move and nice shot from Miller to get the Cougars back on the scoreboard to bring them within 20. It's 43-23 Rich. It's now Wind River to inbound it on their half of the court. Miller thought about shooting a three, opted not to. Looks to Lenhart. He loads up for a long three. That won't fall. Rebounded by Taylor. Turns it over immediately on the long pass. Lenhart looks for Stagner in the corner. No good. Rebounded by Muirbrook. He is fouled, and the Rebels will inbound on their half of the court. Third foul for Wind River already in this third quarter, and they got to monitor that going forward. Huffner to inbound it. He finds Greer wide open down court with two Rich Rebels, and Muirbrook with the assist to Taylor. That will look too easy. I'm not sure what happened. They are complete busting coverage for the Wind River Cougars, and an easy basket for the Rebels. It's 45-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Timeout call by the Cougars. We'll take it ourselves. It's the Rebels leading with 5:10 to go in the third quarter.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Welcome back to Mountain View High. Rebels lead at 45-23, but the Cougars on offense right now. Braden Lenhart passes to Stagner on the far side. Looks to Burnett in the corner for a three. That can't fall. Rebounded by Lenhart. Puts it up from the block, and that does. Back to a 20-point game. It's 45-25 Rich leading on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels beneath the basket. Escapes all the way up to Truman Huffner at the top of the key. Passes to Scott. Scott looking to the corner to Truman Huffner. Huffner driving into the paint. Looks down low. Has his pass tipped away. And last touch by a Rebel. They'll give the ball to Wind River. Cougars comfortably, I beg your pardon, Rebels comfortably leading here in the second half, 45-25. Stockman Stagner looking inside of the paint, passes out to Isaiah Burnett. Burnett with trouble, looks down low to the paint. Walker's shot no good. Who wants to get it? Last touch, and now it's picked up by Huffner. Greer on a 2-on-1 with Scott. He'll keep it himself off the glass, and good. 47-25 after the layup from Connor Greer. That's Greer's 4th point of this second half. Burnett on the far wing with it. Has his pass poked away, nearly stolen, but regained by Lenhart. Lenhart passes to Stockman Stagner at the top of the arc, who goes to Jaden Miller on the near side. Here's Burnett with it. Wants to look down low, picks up his dribble, goes to Stagner. Stagner has his pass taken away, a Rich County government steal by Logan Muirbrook, who passes it over to Connor Greer. Greer taking his time to get up across half court. Heavy pressure. Now he drives into the paint, dishes it off to Muirbrook. Muirbrook's second attempt will fall. It's a growing lead for the Rebels. 49-25 Rebels. Here come the Cougars. Cougars look inside of the paint to Lenhart, going off the glass, and that will fall. 49-27. Another basket for Lenhart. That's his 3rd of the quarter, and Rebels had a pass poked away. With 2:48 to go in the Epic Recreation 3rd quarter, it's the Rebels leading 49-27 against the Wind River Cougars. Inbound play from Huffner finds Jaden Grohl, who just checked in, and Grohl loses it momentarily but regains it. And a smart play by Grohl as he was trapped between defender and the out-of-bounds line. Threw it off a Cougar leg and out of bounds. Rebels will start things over again. Hunter Pace will check in right now. We've seen him come and go a couple times this morning and now afternoon. He'll put Truman Huffner on the bench with 2:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. Inbound pass finds John Scott. Scott picking up his dribble a little bit now. He passes to Pace on the near wing. Pace moving along the baseline, puts up a long 2 off the side of the basket, and last touch by a Cougar. Rebel will have another shot at it with a Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound play beneath the Wind River basket. 49-27 Rich. Pass to Riley Taylor. Sharboth shooting a 3, and a diving Burnett is going to clip Riley Taylor. Taylor with a pump fake got Burnett airborne. And another foul, and that will be another inbound play here for the Rebels. Pace to do the honors. He finds Riley Taylor once again in the corner. He passes to Grohl at the top of the key. His pass is taken away. Here goes Lenhart the opposite direction. Flips it over to Miller, but Jaden Miller couldn't get to it. Too low of a pass, and Rebel basketball. Inbound play now for Grohl with a full court press on the way now from the Cougars. He passes to Pace. Pace has his pass nearly taken away to Carrillo. And now here's John Scott on the far wing, driving along the baseline. He goes to Hunter Pace, who pushes himself all the way up to the top of the arc. Looks to John Scott on the near wing. Scott moving to the left inside the paint, and off the basket, no good, but a cleanup duty from Riley Taylor is good, and it's now 51-27. 1:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wind River on offense. Riley Taylor was quiet in the first half, but has 6 points here in the second. Timeout, or whistle was blown with 1:37 to go. Rebels leading by 14, 51-27 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Inbound pass immediately is shot up from three-point range by Wiley Scherer. A foul is called on the Rebels, though, on the rebound attempt. On the putback attempt, I beg your pardon. So a shooting foul, and now it's Colby Jenks to shoot a pair of free throws. First free throw from Jenks on the way, and that's good. 51-28. Our scoreboard reads with 1:30 to go in the Epic Recreation 3rd quarter. Second free throw delivered, and that's not going to fall. Rebounded by Pace. A lot of pressure going on. The Rebels do not have any more easy passes to say. Pace gets it across half court. Pressured by Burnett. Moves his way into the paint. Dishes it out. Grohl for 3. No good. Rebounded by Muirbrook, and the putback is good. 53-28. It's a 15-point lead for the Rebels. Burnett beneath the baseline. A nifty move is going to result in a Rebel basketball as it's last touched by a Cougar. Logan Muirbrook has been solid all game. You look at his stat line, 4 points in the first quarter, 4 points in the second, and 6 points in the third. He's been busy, busy, busy. 1:05 remaining in the third quarter. Rebels lead at 53-28. Jaden Grohl inbounds it to Pace, who immediately feeds it over to Greer. A risky pass, but the Rebels get bailed out on a foul called against the Cougars. 1:01 to go in the third quarter, and Hayden Meek, who just checked in, will inbound it now at half court. And his inbound is nearly taken away, and maybe it is. Now it is. Here's Lenhart feeding over to Jenks off the glass. No good. Putback is good, though, by Scherer. And it's a 13-point game, or 23-point game. My eyes deceived me. 53-30. Another turnover from the Rebels. Here's Wiley Scherer dribbling back a long two. Buries it. 53-32 after a couple of baskets from Wiley Scherer. Rebels have it on offense. Riley Carrillo dishes it out to Greer at the top of the arc. Now on the near wing. Goes to Pace. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Rebels trying to run some clock. They get it out to Meek on the far side. Hayden Meek looks to Pace. Has it escape his hand, and the Cougars have it. They look up court, and going up the court was Jenks. He was inadvertently tripped by Hayden Meek. A foul nevertheless with 20 seconds to go. So it will be the Cougars ball on the offensive half of the court with 20 seconds to go, trailing 53-32, but they exploded for a quick 4 points to cut into the lead. Here's a three ball, and that is good. The run continues right now for the Cougars, 53-35. Rebels moving along the court, 6 seconds to go. And it's going to be Rich to inbound it after a Cougar punched it out of play with 3.9 seconds to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Meek inbounds it to Greer. Clock starts, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Greer across half court. 1 second, does not get the shot off in time. So a late run from the Cougars has cut into this Rebel lead. It's 53-35. Rebels on top as we enter the fourth quarter. You're listening to Rebel Radio on 98.3 FM and at mylocalradio.com.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
53-35, Rebels lead the Wind River Cougars as we enter our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. The Cougars ended that third quarter on an impressive 7-0 run to try and make it an 8-0 run, actually. So an 8-0 run cut into the lead for the Rebels. Now an 18-point lead. Here we go. Wind River on offense. Passes to Hunter Walker. Walker looking in the post and has the pass nearly taken away. Blocked there by Meerbrook, but they'll call a foul. Shooting foul is called. It will be a pair of free throws now for Trey Mulholland. And Mulholland's first free throw is off the back iron, no good. Rebels have another game, the boys have another game. The girls have another game today, I beg your pardon. I'm all over the place. Mulholland's second free throw on the way, and that falls. 53-36, 17-point advantage for Rich in the fourth quarter. Scott moving along the baseline. John Scott with some trouble. Whistle blows before he found a cutting Connor Greer, and it was a timeout called by head coach Lex Cornea, trying to bail out his guy. We'll take the timeout ourselves. With 7:34 to go in the game, it's a 53-36 lead for the Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Rebels with an inbound pass now on the offensive half of the court, leading 53-36 in the fourth quarter over against the Wind River Cougars. A good pass to Riley Taylor, and elevates himself to put it in. They get 55-36, back to an 18-point lead. Back to a 19-point lead, I beg your pardon. Shot for 3 on the way, and good from Hunter Walker. 55-39. Rebels still ahead on the Station on Main scoreboard, and they respond with a quick basket from Riley Taylor. 57-39. A couple of baskets from Taylor to start this fourth quarter. Wind River turns it over on offense as we get our Station on Main scoreboard all caught up to date. 57-39. And they'll say that Truman Huffner was out of bounds when he got the ball. I think so, something to the tune of that at least. 6:52 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Rebels nursing a comfortable lead, but Wind River threatening recently. 57-39 though. Looking down low, and it's Scherer who had it, lost it, throws it up court, and that's got to be over and back, and indeed it is. Scherer lost it and chucked it from the baseline. It got across half court, and it was picked up by a Cougar, but can't do that. 6:37 to go in the game. Rebels lead by 18. Inbound pass from Greer finds Scott. Scott at the center court logo now goes inside. Quick pass, and the Rebels moving around well. Truman Huffner gives it back to John Scott at the top of the key. He's guarded by Lenhart. Scott goes to his right to Connor Greer at the wing. He feeds down low to Taylor at the block. Taylor puts it up, and that can't fall. Rebounded by Huffner. Truman Huffner resets the offense, giving it to Scott at the top of the key. Just over 6 minutes to go in the game. Huffner on the far wing, reversing course. Goes to Greer. He drives into the paint, loses it. Whistle is blown, and they'll call a charge on Connor Greer. Rebels lead by 18 on that Station on Main scoreboard with 6:01 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Lenhart will inbound it beneath his own basket now for the Cougars. He finds Hunter Walker. Walker strolling across half court. Now picks up his speed a little bit, goes to Jenks in the far corner. Finds Wiley Scherer at the top of the key. He drives in off the glass. Foul is called. He'll shoot 2. We got a pair of Bear Lake Realty free throws coming our way now from the sophomore Wiley Scherer, who got off to such a hot start back in that first quarter. He had 5 points. That was just over a third of the team's total, as the first free throw up and good. Make it 57-40, a 17-point lead right now for Rich. Now we wait the second free throw as Logan Muirbrook checked out for Hayden Meek, and that free throw up and good. 57-41, 16-point game for the Rebels. Huffner gets across half court, looks down low to Taylor. Taylor off the glass, no good. Rebounded by who? It's a loose ball, and it's caught by, or taken away by the Cougars, and that ball go all the way out to half court. It was a diving Mulholland who had it on the floor, and he was the last to touch as it ping-ponged around a couple of fingers and body parts. 5:32 to go in the game. Rebels lead 57-41. Inbound pass goes to Scott. Scott at the top of the key, moves to his left. He goes to Meek in the far corner, who passes to Taylor at the top of the key. Now Scott puts up a three from the near side off the back iron, rebounded by the Cougars. Lenhart looking down court. He passes to Walker. Now Walker the baseline with it, too deep. Rebound by Jenks, and that's off the glass and good. 57-43. Rebels on offense, moving the ball to Scott, who goes along the baseline. He passes to the corner to Hoffner, who gives it back to Scott. Under 5 minutes to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Carrillo at the top of the key, looks to the corner to Scott. He drives in, passes to Hoffner, who is fouled. And that was Riley Taylor, actually. 4:42 to go in the game. And Truman Hoffner will now execute a Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound pass beneath the Cougars basket. Inbound pass, looking, finds Scott right beneath the basket, too easy. 59-43, Rebels lead. And a quick three in response from the Cougars cuts right back into this lead. It's 59-46, and Rich turns it over. Here comes Burnett, and he puts off the back iron, loose ball, reeled in by Taylor. He passes it on to Scott. 13-point game, and a timeout is called by the Rebels. Rich led by as many as 20. It's now a 13-point lead with 4:14 to go in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. We'll take a break as the teams catch up as well.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Welcome back to Mountain View High School. I'm Matthew Peterson. You're listening to Rebel Basketball on Rebel Radio on mylocalradio.com. All right, folks, it's a 59-46, 13-point lead for the Rich Rebels on our Station on Main scoreboard, but the Wind River Cougars are not going away that easily. They have been soaring back. They went on an 8-0 run to end the fourth quarter. And here in the fourth quarter, they have outscored the Rebels 10-6. So they continue to try and be a thorn on the Rebels' side. It's Connor Greer to inbound it on his half of the court. He finds Hayden Meek inside the Rebels' paint. Meek picks up his dribble, goes inside the Cougars' paint, dishes off to Carrillo. His shot is no good. Rebounded, and too deep of a pass from Wiley Scherer. And it's going to be Rebel basketball. Both sides picking up their speed. 4:03 to go in the fourth quarter. And we have a bit of a delay, I guess. I'm not really sure what it's about. But here we go. Greer inbounds it. Has his pass taken away. And a great defensive play by Hunter Walker to steal the pass. And then it went off of Hayden Meek's foot. So it will be Cougar basketball on offense. They will inbound it beneath the Rebels basket. Trailing by 13. A 3 here would make it a 10-point game. We haven't had that close of a game in quite some time. Pass goes to Isaiah Burnett. Burnett at the top of the key finds Miller on the far wing. He goes to Scherer. Wiley Scherer driving on the right side, pulls out, goes to Miller, looks inside. Stockman had it for a moment, and he is fouled. Foul by Hayden Meek, so a 1-and-1 is on the way, and it will be Stockman Stagner to shoot a pair of free throws, or shoot one free throw at least, and if he makes it, a second. And it's Hunter Walker checking out, getting a round of applause from the Cougar faithful. So here is Stockman Stagner on a 1-and-1 with 3:45 to go. First free throw off the front iron, rebounded by Taylor. A lot of traffic around him. Finds Scott. He's got a man on his tail. Now he moves up the court to Logan Meerbrook, and to Connor Greer. That's no good. Here come the Cougars. Pass ping-pongs around a little bit, eventually falls in the hands of Taylor in the far corner. Taylor picks up his dribble now. He is fouled, and it's the Rebels' turn to shoot a 1-and-1. Wiley Taylor will go to the free throw line to attempt a 1-and-1 presented by Bear Lake Realty. Wiley Taylor so strong in the second half. After not scoring a basket in the first half, he has gotten out to get 10 points here in the second half. Free throw up on the way from Taylor and good. So 60-46. Rebels lead by 14 here in the fourth quarter against the Cougars. And now we get the second free throw on the 1-and-1, and that's good too. 61-46. Rebels adding on to their lead late here in the fourth quarter. And on offense, it's the Cougars drawing the foul. Wiley Scherer will shoot a 1-and-1 as well with 3:19 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Rebels have 2 games tomorrow. Talk about the boys' side. The girls have a game at 3:30 this afternoon. They will take on one of the home teams here in the Bridger Valley, the Lyman Eagles. Wiley Scherer, in the meantime, puts up his first free throw, and that's good. 61-47. It was 14-14 at the end of the first quarter, and the Rebels have just dominated the last 3 quarters. However, Wind River making some dents in this lead late. Second free throw up and good from Wiley. 61-48. Rebels lead by 13. Just over 3 minutes to go. Rebels turn it over on the inbound pass. Looking beneath the basket is Walker off the iron, and last touch by a Cougar. Rich Rebel basketball. You know what? I know that Coach Cornea is not going to be happy with the amount of turnovers we have seen today. I mean, it goes both ways, but the Rebels not protecting the basketball well. Inbound pass goes to Scott. Scott facing a full court press, gets across half court, moves inside, finds Meerbrook beneath the basket. He's fouled on the shot attempt, and he'll go shoot 2. Oh, is that Jaden Grohl, actually? It's Jaden Grohl. So Jaden Grohl will attempt a pair of free throws now, trying to pick up his first points of the day. With 3:02 to go in the fourth quarter, Rebels lead at 61-48 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Grohl has come off the bench a handful of times this morning and now afternoon. First free throw on the way, and that's no good. Off the back iron for Grohl. Rebels will resume action tomorrow afternoon. They'll take on Mountain View as Grohl shoots another free throw, and that one does fall. 62-48, 14-point advantage for the Rebels. Grohl on the score sheet. And a defensive foul against the Rebels. It looks like a shooting foul that was committed against or on Isaiah Burnett. Burnett, a sophomore, will shoot his free throws now with 2:54 to go in the fourth quarter. First free throw on the way, and that falls for Burnett. So we keep it at that 12 to 15 point range. It sits at 13 right now in terms of the deficit for Wind River. 62-49. Second free throw up and good. So 12-point lead for the Rebels with just under 3 minutes to go. 62-50. Looking down low off the glass, no good for the Rich shot, but a rebound kicks it out to Greer in the corner. He looks beneath the basket for Muirbrook, who is fouled on his shot attempt. And now he has his turn at the free throw line. Logan Muirbrook, a senior, will shoot a pair of free throws. Muirbrook quiet in this fourth quarter, looking for his first point, but all in all, a great showing as he is up to 14 points. But he won't make it 15 there as his free throw is off the mark, no good. 2:41 remaining in the game, and Coach Cornea is going to call timeout. We'll take it ourselves. When we return, we'll have the second free throw from Logan Muirbrook, with the Rebels leading by 12 with 2:41 to go in the game.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Welcome back to Mountain View High. The Rebels are leading by 12, but the Wind River Cougars have been cutting into this lead. Rich led by as many as 20. I think even north of that right now. They led by 24, it looks like, at one point. But the Cougars have found life late. Yeah, it looks like the largest margin was at one point 51 to 27. After that, though, the Cougars went on an 8-0 run to close out the third quarter, and they have given the Rebels more than they can handle in this fourth. It's a 12-point lead, but still plenty of time left as Muirbrook will attempt his second free throw, and that gets a little help from the basketball gods. It falls 63-50. Rebels lead with just over 2.5 remaining in the game. Wind River moving around. Burnett for three. Off the back iron, rebound goes to the Rebels. 3 Rebels tied up for it right now, and a jump ball is called. You had John Scott, Logan Muirbrook, and Jaden Grohl all fighting for the ball each other. But it's the Rebels' possession right now as the arrow favored them. Greer will inbound it. He looks to Jaden Grohl. Grohl passes back to Greer. He picks up his dribble, moves inside the perimeter. Greer at the top of the arc. Passes the near wing to Meek. Meek trying to find someone to go to. He finds his man Jaden Grohl at the top of the key. Key with just over 2 minutes to go. Grohl with just over 2 minutes to go has it. Passes to Greer. Greer moving inside the perimeter, has his body fouled. Draws a foul with 1:56 to go as he was driving towards the hoop. And it will be a 1-and-1. It was not a shooting foul. So with a 13-point advantage and under 2 minutes to go, Greer will try to make this game everything but official. First free throw on the way and good from the senior Greer. 64-50, 14-point lead. First point in the fourth quarter for Connor Greer. Second free throw up, and that's good as well. So 15-point advantage for the Rebels with under 2 minutes to go on the Station on Main scoreboard. 65-50. At the top of the key, it's Scherer with it. Wiley Scherer dishes it out to Lenhart. Lenhart passes to Burnett. All this happening above the key. It's Scherer in the corner for three. No good. But last touch by Connor Greer. It'll stay with the Cougars as Hunter Pace now checks in for the Rebels. Logan Muirbrook will pop a squat with 1:33 to go in the game. Braden Lenhart inbounds it to Stogman. Here come the Rebels. Hunter Pace crosses half court, under a minute and a half to go. Pace, bounce pass to the corner to Scott, who feeds it to Meek, who gives it back to Pace. Thought about shooting a three at the top of the key, opted not to. Now he's got it over to to Scott. And Hunter Pace lost it beneath the basket on the entrance pass from John Scott. Wind River ball with a minute 10 and counting. Lenhart gets across half court. He passes to Walker, gives it over to Burnett. Burnett thought about the three, drives in at the elbow, looks down low. Scheer can't get it to go. Loose ball, who's got it? They're going to call a jump ball, and it will be Wind River possession with 54 ticks remaining in the game. Rebels lead it by 15 in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Inbound pass goes to Burnett in the corner. Drives in. Rich County Government steal by Hayden Meek. Meek passes it over to Greer. Connor Greer gets across half court with 45 seconds to go. And he dribbles out of traffic, passes over to Meek. 40 seconds remaining in the game. Meek had it taken away from him. A jump ball is called. It'll stay with Rich. With 37 seconds remaining, the Rebels are just a couple more seconds away from going 2-0 on the season and 1-0 in this Bridger Valley tournament, where they will compete in 3 games. Next game is tomorrow afternoon. Boys will get going against Mountain View at 1 p.m. But for now, it's Connor Greer to inbound it with 37 seconds to go, up 15. And the Rich Rebels going to their bench. It's Nate Woods checking into the game for the first time all season at the varsity level. Has been a strong contributor at the JV level, but Nate Woods seeing the court for the last 37 seconds. Inbound pass will go to Meek. Meek, way out near half court. Gets it over to Greer. Greer drives along the baseline. Passes it over to Grohl, and Grohl off the glass gets it to go. 67-50. Rebels lead it by 17 now. They're pouring it on late with 20 seconds to go as Wind River threw that pass away. Rebel basketball. Inbound pass will go to Hunter Pace, who gives it right back to Connor Greer. 15 seconds, and the Rebels are just going to run this clock out. They will improve to 2-0 on the season and 1-0 in this 3-game tournament. Greer at the top of the key with it, and Rich will take down the Wind River Cougars 67-50. A strong start for Rich in the Bridger Valley area, and a great win as well against a Wyoming opponent. Folks, we're going to move into our post-game show now. We got lots of coverage coming your way. We'll have our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, the McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game, our Auto Farm Chevrolet Shot and Play of the Game, along with a Garden City game adjustment. So keep it right here. It's the Rebels defeating the Cougars of Wind River 67-50.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome into our post-game show. It's the Rebels taking down the Wind River Cougars in game 1 of 3 this weekend in the Bridger Valley area as Gary McKee crosses over the screen for those of you watching at mylocalradio.com. All right, let's get into our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. So it was actually Wind River scoring first. They got out to a 2-0 start, and the two sides like little siblings going back and forth, back and forth. And the end of the first quarter had the Rebels and the Cougars tied at 14 apiece. Rich led 12-7 at one point, but Wind River cut into it, and they knotted up at 14. We move into the second quarter, and it started off with a Hunter Pace 3-bomb, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. Rebels were leading the second quarter 17-14, and they put a lot of gas on that fire. They would go on to close out the second quarter 35-19. A couple players really went off in that second quarter. Riley Carrillo contributed 6 points off the bench. Look at Logan Muirbrook. He had 4, and John Scott had 4 as well in that second quarter. And then after the half, the Rebels continued to apply pressure to the Cougars. They dashed out to at one point would be a 24-point advantage, 51-27, largely fueled by Logan Muirbrook, 6 points in that quarter. And Riley Taylor finally getting on the score sheet, getting 6 points in the third quarter as well. However, it would not be that simple and easy going forward. Wind River closed the third quarter on an 8-0 run to make it 53-35. So a 18-point game for the Rebels. And then in the fourth quarter, the Rebels and the Cougars went back and forth a little bit. Wind River would bring it as close as 12 points at one point. It was 62-50. That was the closest it really was in that fourth quarter. And after that, the Rebels just kind of closed them out, winning 67-50, a 17-point win for head coach Lex Cornea and company. And that is our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Go visit them at 113 Front Street in Evanston, where fresh and fast meat always a delicious sandwich. Our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the game. A lot of great contenders to give it to, but I'm going to give it to Riley Carrillo, an offensive rebound on a missed free throw, and all-in-one motion, getting up in the air and putting it off the glass and in. That's exactly what Coach Cornea wants to see. Hustle on offensive boards, especially from the bench mob. So that's our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the game. Precision Family Dental Care at reasonable rates. Call the dental office of Dr. McKay Frankham to schedule your appointment today. Give them a call at 307-789-8910. We're going to step aside here in our post-game show. Once again, the Rebels taking down the Wind River Cougars, 67-50 here at Mountain View High.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Welcome back into our post-game show. Rebels taking down the Wind River Cougars 67-50. Let's move into the second half of our post-game show. It's including the Auto Farm shot and play of the game and our Garden City game adjustment. So, our Auto Farm shot and play of the game. I'm going to give the shot of the game not a ton of crazy athletic shots. I think we saw a lot of amazing buzzer beaters a week ago against Telos, but today, how about Hunter Pace? First time we've seen him at the varsity level this season, coming off the bench and quickly draining a three. So Hunter Pace with the shot of the game. As for the play of the game, I want to award it to the defensive side, and we saw some great blocks. So how about one of Logan Muirbrook's several blocks he had today for our play of the game? All of that brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, serving Rich County for generations. And finally, our Garden City game adjustment where families play. The Rebels in that first quarter were all even at 14 apiece, but offensively, they started to penetrate down low, and that's got to be the game adjustment. That was something Coach Cornea really harped on at the end of the game last week, was we've got to be better in the paint, and they were. Logan Muirbrook and Riley Taylor both finished, Muirbrook with 15 points and Taylor with 12, two of them combining for 27 points. They didn't have nearly that much in the first game of the season down low. So that's our Garden City game adjustment. Going through some other stats of the game here. Connor Greer finished with 11 points. Truman Huffner with 4. Riley Carrillo with 6. Hunter Pace with 3. Riley Taylor with 12. Logan Muirbrook led all Rich scorers with 15. Jaden Grohl contributed 3, alongside Hayden Meek with 3 of his own, and John Scott rounding it out with 8 points, all 8 coming in the first half. All right, folks, we're going to step aside one more time here, and when we return, we'll look ahead at our roundup calendar, and then we'll sign off until 3 o'clock for the women's matchup between the Lyman Eagles and the Rich Rebels. So keep it right here for more Rebel basketball. We'll be right back.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when 2 roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Fair River Drive, Evanston. As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Welcome back to Mountain View High for the conclusion of our post-game show as the Rebels defeated the Wind River Cougars 67-50 in game 1 of 3 this weekend. And with that said, let's get into our roundup calendar. So what's coming up? We've got more basketball today. That's what's coming up. It's the girls taking on the Lyman Eagles at Lyman at 3:30 p.m. You can catch the the pregame show starting around 3 o'clock, so be sure to tune in early for that. And then tomorrow, jam-packed. It's the boys getting started first against Mountain View right here at Mountain View High at 1 p.m. Then the girls take on the Buffaloes themselves at 3 o'clock. And after that, the boys take on the Pinedale Wranglers at 5 p.m. And finally, it's the girls closing out the entire tournament, taking on the Ryrie Bulldogs at 7 p.m. That's what's coming up here for Rich High basketball. All right, folks, for my producer, Alyssa McDaniel, and my cameraman, Gary McKee, I'm Matthew Peterson signing off. The Rebels take down the Wind River Cougars 67-50. We'll see you at 3 o'clock for the girls' game against the Lyman Eagles.
You've been tuned into Rich High School Rebel basketball on Rebel Radio, KADQ-FM 98.3, with video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's match has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses: Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, the Come On Inn in Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, West Star Printing, and Rocky Mountain Sign. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder.